Hello and welcome, folks. I am sorry about the debacle of my first live stream. I accidentally somehow set the first one as private. I didn't realize that if you end the stream, you can't restart it under the same link. So I've basically had to start a new one. So I guess that's lessons learned the first time around. I have streamed before, but I've not done much on YouTube, and it's been a little while. So yeah, let's do some painting together. What's this, dude? How's it going? Welcome here. What kind of uh, what kind of stuff are you painting? I'm currently painting. Well, I'm gonna say I'm done painting this guy. So he's from the game of Guild Ball. His name is Stave. The only thing I've got left to do that I'm going to do anything on is I was thinking about possibly doing some highlights lower down, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just basically do the basing at some point, but not right now. So this guy was my first attempt at doing any sort of tartan. So overall, I'm pretty happy with him. Now, it's been a while since I've done much painting, so it's kind of getting back in the groove of things. Nice. So you're painting up some guild ball as well. How's the volume for my microphone? And do we want some music in the background? So I picked up some new paints here the other day too. I think I got my first Vallejo paints, so I'm playing around with those a little bit more, and I'm enjoying them so far. They're a little different. I mean, I absolutely love the dropper bottles. You can't go wrong with those. I love my my P3 paints and my Citadel paints. I love them too, but I really don't like the bottles. I mean, so like these contrast paints and like the washes and stuff, you know, they're they're not bad because I mean I just dip my brush straight into here, but I never paint the regular paint straight out of the pot, so kind of makes it difficult. You almost have to take a paintbrush, dip it in there, put it in your palette, and then like you always waste some paint, which I'm not a fan of. And they don't close great. They always get paint in the little seal around the lid, and then they eventually don't want to close properly, like this one here, and then the paint dries out. Can you hear that music coming through? I don't have it set up properly right now, so it's actually just coming out of my speakers, but so I've got Tapper here from Guild Ball. I think he's actually the captain of the team. I've also got this Blood Bowl box that I picked up the other day, thanks to a few of the lads on the Pickle Jar Discord and the Crazy Crafter Discord who play this game. Yeah, these guys really just caught my eye because I mean they look super comical. So I might unbox this. I don't think I'm gonna put them together right now because I don't know where my super glue is. Just want to see what it looks like. I haven't put together much Games Workshop stuff. Let me know if the music comes through now. It should be coming through quietly. Hoping it's not echoing because it's going through my microphone as well as my speaker, or like I have it playing on speakers as well as coming through the streaming software. I got a bag of bases. Oh, yep. And some sprues. Not something I'm overly familiar with. I know all the folks who play a lot of Warhammer and games like that are totally used to sprues, but I haven't really dealt with them much, so It'll be interesting to see how well they go together and how easy they go together. Well, these guys are definitely small. I knew they would be small. I didn't realize how small they would be. You guys can see that. Some pretty nice, clean. Yeah, I'm looking definitely forward to building the pump wagons. The guys look super comical. There's a, not sure what that guy's for, but it looks pretty cool. The mushroom guy in the middle there. Looks like it's got some instructions here, some basically point cost or gold piece cost. I believe that's how you build your team, right? Is you have X amount of gold pieces that you get to spend on a roster, and rerolls and special skills and stuff, I believe. Okay, so yeah, it's got, looks like pretty good instructions as far as how to put the guys together, so hopefully it's not super difficult. Somewhere I've got some cutters. I don't know where I left them. I'm going to put this stuff back in the box for the moment. Just stick that back over there. So these are a few of the other miniatures that I have primed. I've got, these are all Guild Ball. So this is a cat. Scum, I believe. This is Tapper, or no. But he has a good broken bottle, which is kind of cool. And then it's Friday. So primed them black, and then I did a pretty intensive Zenithal highlight. I mean, you can see on this guy here, it's more of a proper Zenithal. The underparts are dark. Hello, hello, campaign train. I believe Cross. Welcome here. Sorry for all of the issues with getting things going here and deleting my original stream was private, and then I deleted it, and yeah. But it's working now, I think. So I guess it's one of those things that work out the kinks and the bugs as I go. Yeah, joys indeed. So you just finished up a huge batch of terrain. Was that for a specific project, Cross, or is that just something that you wanted to do, or what was the inspiration behind that? So I've just started this recently. What's his dude actually picked up this stuff for me, and I honestly have started using it more and more in most of my painting. It's a glaze medium. Focus. Where's my focus? There it is. So it's Vallejo. It's a matte glaze medium. And it keeps the paints from drying out in the brush. It makes them stay a little bit wet or wetter longer in the palette. Because I've had varying degrees of success with a wet palette. And it blends awesome. Alright, what brush am I using here? Oh, okay, going for or similar. So you're doing an Etsy store? Like, are you gonna actually have a store up on Etsy, or are you thinking of a different platform, or what's your plan there? It's pretty cool though. I've been considering that as well. Like, how do I take some of the stuff that I'm doing now and gain an income from it, right? Like, obviously right now, my YouTube channel, being as small as it is doesn't make me any money. It costs me money. I think you're getting fairly close to being to that place where you can be monetized. Last I checked, I think you were at 7 something, right? 700 and some. So I mean, that's pretty awesome. I guess you've been at it for now, what, a year and a couple months, year and 3 months or something like that. So I mean, but still, I mean, it takes a while to get to the point where you're making any reasonable money. So I have considered, selling some of the projects that I make. I'm not sure if anybody would want to actually buy the projects that I make, but normally I paint through a magnifying glass, but I'm trying without today just because I want to see if it's possible to, just because it often gets in the way when I'm trying to run the camera and paint. Yeah, I mean, Etsy's been okay for me, but I haven't been super hardcore dedicated to selling much stuff on there. I have sold a few pieces on Etsy, nothing that no miniature stuff. A couple of my forged pieces I've sold on Etsy. Like, I sold a knife. What else was I sold on there? I can't remember what I've all done. Like, I made a karambit knife that I sold on Etsy, and that worked out well. I've also bought a few things on Etsy. Oh, okay, I thought you were higher than that. So, I mean, yeah, 400. So you got a little ways to go yet, but that's not not bad. I mean, I think I just hit 50 today with you. Thank you, by the way. So I mean, I've got a long ways to go, but it's good. I mean, I expect it to take a while to get up there, and I mean, I'm trying to do the best work I can, to make work I do interesting for people and help them in some way, I hopefully can bring some sort of value to the consumers of my content. Coincidentally, his name is also Mike. I mean, there are lots of Mikes, so it's not, I mean, super surprising, but yeah, YouTube is a weird beast. I mean, there are a couple people I subscribe to who are, you know, friends of mine, and I often have to go like, I know they released a video and I have to go search for it. It won't show up in my feed even though I, you know, specifically watch their videos every time. It's a weird, their algorithm doesn't totally make sense to me, but yeah, I mean it's I know with your channel there too, I thought I had subscribed earlier. I know I watched a couple of your videos and it's like obviously I either didn't hit subscribe or I don't know. Yeah, I must not have hit subscribe because I had to when you subscribed today. Then I'm like, oh, I'm not subscribed to your channel yet. So I can't decide if this guy is wearing gloves or not. Sometimes it's frightfully hard to tell. From this guy here, just by the look of his hands and stuff, it appears to me as though he is. Come on. It's bugging me now. Yeah. So the one hand is definitely bigger than the other, so it looks like he's wearing a glove. And I mean, that's what I'm going with. I mean, you can see one of his hands it's bigger than the other one. So I painted it as though he's wearing a glove. Okay, now that I painted like this guy's hand, it looks as though, yeah, it definitely is a flesh hand because he's got band-aids on, so sometimes it's hard to see the detail and until you get some paint on it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've set a goal for myself to release one build video every week, and a couple weeks have been pretty stressful trying to get my video out. But right now I think I've got the footage done for about 3 videos, a couple of smaller ones, but I mean I'm okay with that as long as I'm creating something. I mean, my whole channel is based around just my creative process. Oh, now that I'm looking closer, it looks like he's got a bare arm there too. Interesting fact, or maybe not an interesting fact, but I am using the original brush. So probably, I want to say, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago when I discovered the world of miniature tabletop wargaming. The first thing I ever bought was a box of Moria Goblins for the Middle-earth strategy battle game. I think back then it was still called, it was still Lord of the Rings. But anyways, I bought a box of Moria Goblins, and it, I believe, came with a few paints and a brush. And this brush, this Citadel starter brush, is the original brush. It has a curl on the end of it now, but it actually works kind of nice for getting into corners. I have a couple of nicer detail brushes, nothing fancy or high end, but I still like this one for a lot of my main painting. Everywhere I look, there's always more flesh showing. I have no idea why I decided to paint the flesh color first, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's one of those brushes that just, I mean, over time it's changed, but I've kind of grown with it, I guess, and I've now come to depend on it for certain types of painting, I guess, and it's kind of my go-to. Um, it's got like a knob of paint on the end of it already because I use it to mix my paints every time. Yeah, the paint bulb helps with the balance. Yeah, some days my balance isn't so good, or I've had too much coffee or something like that. It gets pretty shaky. I feel like this paintbrush though, it's durable. I don't treat it overly well. I don't clean it properly like I'm supposed to. But it seems to just it's gotten the shape now. It's got a little curl on the end of it, and it just, I don't know. It just seems to stay that way now. I don't know if I'll be able to show it on this camera. Yeah, you can see it's got a little hook on the end. And that hook gets into corners like, I don't know, sometimes you get it underneath an arm or something like that. It just gets into the corners like nothing else does. So what's his dude? You said you were painting Guild Ball stuff. Um, what kind of a color palette are you going for with those guys? I don't know if I've seen any of your order. That's the guild, right? The order is what it's called. Oh, that's bright. Interesting. Yeah, that's a lot brighter than I thought it would be. I just picked up these contrast paints. I've heard mixed reviews and things that they work for and things that they don't, so I decided to pick up a couple of colors and give them a try. So I'm mixing up trying to go for a rosier cheek, kind of a warmer flesh tone for some of the facial. Not sure about the color on that one. It's kind of a pink, and not necessarily a huge fan of that. So if you drop in here, make sure you say hi so I know that you're here. What's his dude? So the Order is a minor guild of the Union. Okay, so they're not a full guild. They're one of those smaller guilds, or kind of like the half guilds. Pale gray, burgundy, and teal. So are you going with pale gray as like a cold gray, or are you going with a warm gray? A lion. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that one. Cross, do you play any miniatures games at all, or do you are you more just into the terrain side of things? I can't remember if I've seen you with you whether you play games or not. Being somewhat new to the Vallejo paints, I've noticed that while they are the color's nice enough, but they don't the coverage isn't super great. I mean, the opacity of the paint. So you definitely need a few layers to get down the color. Maybe it's just the specific paints that I've used, but play a variety of different table like RPG games. Like obviously Dungeons and Dragons like is the main one, but there's a ton of games out there. What color? War games. Okay, cool. Percentile based. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, the D20 style definitely has its ups and downs. I mean, it's a cool system, but I mean, you can get some dice rolls and they can be uh, they can be good or bad or otherwise. I remember playing the first time when I was at Gen Con, and I played as an elf with a bow. I'm thinking I'm just me sniping all sorts of things, and I could not hit a shot for nothing. If you've just joined us, make sure you say hi. I'll keep saying that throughout. I know there's some people maybe coming and going. But yeah, stop in and say hi so I know that you're here. So I can say hi back. This guy's got some interesting facial hair. He's got kind of a goatee as well as a mustache. Quite a long mustache. Kind of like a, I don't know, like handlebar mustache basically. So you're thinking of cold gray, so like starting with blue, like blue tones. Yeah, so the more I look at this guy's mustache, the more I realize it's actually very long. Like it goes up over his shoulder. It is a mustache and a half. I think I asked this earlier, but I can't remember if I did or not. Is the mic volume good, or I'm just kind of assuming that you can hear me since you're replying to me. So is it loud enough or is it too loud? Okay, what's this dude? Sorry about that, guys. Glazing medium. What were you saying that may be an issue? I'm not sure what I was even talking about. That comes up. Okay, I've turned the microphone up a little bit, so let me know if that makes a difference or not. My family's being pretty quiet, which is not typical. The youngest ones are napping right now, which is why it's quiet. I mean, not I picked this time strategically. Oh yeah, the Vallejo paints. Yeah, that definitely could play a factor. in the opacity. But I've tried both. Like I've been playing with both paints back and forth, and so I feel like it might just be certain colors too, because each paint is different. I'm like noticing, as an example, that this white is like really, um, it's quite tacky. Like I feel like the whiter, lighter paints often are that way. That they want to gum up on your brush a lot easier than some of the darker colors maybe would. I firmly believe that painting eyes makes you insane, but I gotta get them at some point. It's so hard on these models, they're so small. Yes, as regard to the couple white dots and couple black dots, I totally agree with you. It's just that if the white dots and the black dots aren't in the same spot, it looks even worse than if you didn't try. So, um, when they say that and they get it right, that means that they have done it many, many times, and it's just that easy for them now. But I don't know, it's not that easy for me. Yeah, no, eyes are not that easy. But yeah, maybe for some people, like, yeah, that very well could have been Zapazorp. I think I was watching one of his videos the other day and he said that, but he's also painted a lot more minis than I have, so maybe for him it is that easy. I don't know. Oh, so this guy's got a pipe in his mouth, which I did not realize until just now. Yep. Yeah, I watched that one. That's some dedication. He ended up having a power outage and ended up painting a bunch of that stuff like in the dark by candlelight. Like I would go crazy if I had to paint by candlelight. That's some serious dedication to the craft and to a deadline. Well, we've just passed over an hour, and I said I was going to stream for about an hour, so I think I'll go for a couple more minutes here, and then I'm going to shut her down for the day. But I appreciate you guys coming out and supporting me and chatting, so I'm not just talking to myself. I honestly had assumed that I would be just talking to myself, so it's nice to have a couple of friends to chat with. Hopefully you got more done painting than I did there. What's this dude? Um, I mean, I've made technically some progress. It just doesn't seem like much. I feel like I'm pretty slow painter right now. Yeah, I know personally I like to often just have a stream running on the side. You know, if somebody I know is streaming, I'll just have it on while I'm working or while I'm doing other stuff, so it's nice to do that as well. I'm going to test out this new watch I got. The one thing I have tried a number of different washes and even tried making my own. And while people maybe say whatever good things and bad things about Citadel paints, I have not found washes that touch theirs, not even close. And it's being a reasonably cheap person, I've tried making my own, and I cannot get it. Yeah, I can't get my washes even close. This one is called Reichland Flesh Shade. So we'll give it a try. I know in the past I've used the Seraphim Sepia over Flesh and didn't mind the results, so. Yeah, this seems like it has a fair bit of brown in it as well. Um, it's definitely a warm skin tone from what I'm seeing so far, so which I like. That's what I'm going for, especially on this guys. They're supposed to be, you know, actively playing a sport, so they should be kind of warm. One of the things that, you know, because I haven't actually been painting that long, or I mean, it's been a few years, but I haven't painted that many models. I'm still doing a lot of learning as far as the process of what order do you paint things in. And that's something that I've struggled with and continue to struggle with is, you know, do you do the face first, and then when you're doing eyes, what order do you do the eyes in? Like I've gone back and forth and repainted a bunch of things, you know, and is there obviously there must be a way to do it more efficiently, but I feel like I always end up having to paint back over things. So what's this do? Do you have any I can't remember. Do you have any washes that are not Citadel? Because I know you have a variety of different paints, and I couldn't remember if you have any washes that are. This would be a good question for you too, Cross, if you're still here. What kind of washes do you do terrain building? Because that's a huge thing. Like, obviously when you're building terrain, if you're going to use washes, you go through a lot, and to use it out of the bottle is, I mean, that adds up really quick. I tried making my own specifically when I was doing some terrain here recently, and I ended up going back to my bottled stuff because, yeah, I just couldn't get the mixture right. I couldn't get it to flow like I wanted it to, and just didn't look right. Okay, some Army Painter ones, yeah. I tried a little bit of Army Painter stuff, and yeah, not super happy with them. So before I close the stream, I know it's been almost an hour and 15 minutes, but I'm gonna try painting some eyes so you guys can see me fail at that. Oh, the question is do I have a steady hand today? Okay, so that is the thing. Now I've been seeing this. Must be a sign. I've been seeing this a lot lately about putting a couple drops of dish soap in there. So what is the dish soap supposed to do? Interesting. All right, I'm gonna bust out. Alright, wish me luck. Nope. Ah. Paint's just drying in the tip. Okay, well, that might work. Oh, okay, well that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that. Thank you for that tip, because I was starting to lose my mind trying to make my own. I was just using paint and water. So that would be my problem. Alright, I will, before I shut this down, try to show you guys. I went over with the eyes, but I should be able to paint back around and fix them. So, not the worst I've ever done. Not the best I've ever done by any means, but I appreciate you guys coming out and joining me. I will close this up for now, and I will talk to you guys again soon. I'm hoping to probably stream every Friday. Well, it won't be every Friday, but as much as I can, I will try to do that. So, thanks, guys. I will talk to you guys later. I'll just let the last few comments kind of come through here. Oh yes, the isopropyl alcohol. That's another trick that I want to try. I have that, if you watch the video I made with the foliage, I put the, yeah, it's sitting up on the shelf. I don't want to grab it, but I did all the foliage and flowers and stuff like that on a piece of terrain, and that one needs to be sprayed down yet with some PVA. So anyways, cheers guys. I will end that here.